I absolutely do not like the idea that the federal government has become a rogue state that is targeting political factions and allowing invasion at our border, and that people may lose confidence in the system and take up weapons themselves. Sounds like a nightmare scenario. You may say that Syria has maintained their government, but take a look at their cities. Ain't nobody wants to live that way.
Right.
And I don't.
But that's where we're headed, and I think the American government seems deliberate in that policy. Again, there's no reason why they would be allowing all these people in. Why they are fighting so hard.
They're not as powerful as you think they are. People like to talk about. You just said we have drones. Yeah, tell that to Afghanistan. The Taliban took over in 2 seconds. They took everything, and now they have weapons. This idea that, you know, perhaps the real conspiracy is that the government tries to maintain conspiracy theories, shout out to South Park, to convince people like you that they're so powerful that nothing would ever stop them, when in fact, they've shown themselves to be completely incapable. I mean, even right now, the best argument to be made is that the Biden administration wants the people to break through the southern border. Okay, perhaps that's a fair argument to make, or you can make another argument. They're unable to do anything about it.
Well, they could certainly do something. I mean, when they're flying 300,000 people in, I mean, they could just not do that, right? I mean, when they're actually putting injunctions and stopping the Texas National Guard, when they're going in and removing barbed wire, that's not them being weak.
They want it to happen.
Right.
So my point is, you could make the argument that the federal government is incapable of securing the entirety of its borders.
But it's not. It's deliberately not.
We know that they're flying people, and that's not my point.
Yeah.
There is not enough U.S. military personnel to secure every inch of its borders. That's why even in San Diego, they just swim in. Mm-hmm. So if you go to Tijuana, it's really funny. The fence goes like
40 feet out into the water, and 80 feet out. You just swim around it.
And they quite literally do.
It's not.
So what they do is they'll get scuba gear. They'll go short ways up, go underwater, swim into San Diego till they get to a beach, and then take the gear off and pop up. And
I was in Tijuana looking at that, just thinking like, I could just swim. Do they have snipers waiting? Because why aren't people just swimming around the border around the border wall?
No, in fact, there's a hole in the border there where in the middle of night people just go through. Now, by all means. I think it's fair to say the Biden administration certainly wants these people to come in.
Right.
And so my point ultimately is there are not enough military personnel, CBP personnel, law enforcement to actually maintain control in the event of a loss of confidence. For example, the George Floyd riots. The George Floyd riots happened and the police just left.
But that was another deliberate thing, right? I mean, that was...
No, whether it's deliberate or not that's conjecture.
Well, no, I mean, when you have like the federal government, giving him a funeral with a golden casket and taking a knee and wearing the kente cloth, and when you have the local mayors joining in with the, I mean, how about this? When you had them tearing down statues in places like, I think it was Alabama, you had the mayors actually showing up and going, hey, let us do it. We'll bring in a crane and we'll do this for you. I mean, this is deliberate. It's not like they can't stop some of this stuff.
We're getting lost in the weeds because, simply put, what I am stating is fact. It is a historical fact. It is a fact of humanity. No government has ever been strong enough to maintain itself against a lack of confidence from the people.